Welcome, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. This is the poor man's YGO, not joined by the other one, because reasons. Tomorrow is going to be my annual weekend's locals, and I forgot to report last weekend's result on one of the newest deck to the list, which I went undefeated. Okay, for the first time ever in my life, I didn't face Sky Striker, which is a shame because every single time I face Sky Striker with this deck, which has been twice already, I get my ass utterly whooped. But against every other deck I faced for both weekends, it's the only deck I lose to. So this is a deck that I've been swearing not to play for a long time because my friends are like, you play this, we're not going to be your friends anymore, or you'll become the fucking thing you most hate. But after, this is no joke, guys. For me, this is not a lie. I have not come in the top 5 at any of my locals, regionals, anything for the past 6 months until 2 weeks ago, until I picked up this deck. And, you know, fucking worked phenomenally. So the deck I played was surprise by the thumbnail and the thing, True Draco. And we play also the one, I don't know, the fucking trap card guy. The Draco, Dynamite, the True Draco fighter. He's basically your trap card searcher and or activator from deck. So if you guys don't know what this, all the True Dracos have the exact same, gimmick. Okay, the beginning text where you contribute a continuous spell / trap from your side of the field instead of as a cost instead of attributing a monster, and that's the main gimmick of them. Then for the other one, and for him, whenever your opponent activates a card or effect, chain. This is chain.deck, by the way. Activate or search a true king or true. Take one true king or true Draco card from your deck, either add it to your hand or activate it. So we were only allowed to play one of him. If this card was up to 2, Konami, please bring him up to 2. He's not as OP anymore, I swear. Yeah, it's, he's probably the best True Draco, going first or second, and he's the beefiest, 2500. Next, no surprise, the most consistent card we have is Ignis. We play 3 Ignis. He's basically the exact same as this, except for spells. So, Ignis is our 2400 body. He searches our spells or activates spells directly from the deck. Same thing, tributes the spell / continuous spell / trap like Apocalypse. And then as a tribute summon. They can be face down. So it's like we take Apocalypse. You set it face down, then we tribute it. It still counts. I don't know how, but that's how it's ruled at my locals. So. And finally, people don't flame me for this because I love her. She is the waifu of this deck, and I'm all about the waifu. We played a 3 Majesty Maiden. Majesty Maiden has a different effect compared to these two. So instead of activating or searching, she just searches a True Draco monster. That's it. She's the lowest one of them all. Those are the last 3 of the True Draco. I'm not running the extra deck variant because I mean there's a bunch of problems with that, and why get rid of a couple of our floodgates? So whatever. And now for probably the second best spell card in this entire deck and the game. 3 copies of Dragonic Diagram. This card is insane. So if you guys don't know what it does, pop all True King or True Draco monsters you control gain 300 attack. So it makes these guys pretty beefy. And also, you can pop 1 card in your field, aka destroy. Pop 1 card you control or in your hand. That's come up a couple of times, and search a True King or True Draco card directly from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect once per turn. Here's the part that comes so in handy. People don't even, they're like, oh, the attack gain and oh, the pop, whatever. They don't remember the last effect. So the last effect is when let me see. All right, for the first time, a tribute summoned True Draco or True King monster will be destroyed by battle. Each turn, it is not destroyed by battle. So people forget that because it's in the. I know it was the end, but I forgot. It's kind of in the middle. So people gloss over it, but it is one of the best effects like, it's come up so much, and people thinking, oh, I can't beat over your guy. Oh, that sucks. And we run the 1 terraforming because it's set to 1 Konami. Why? I don't really see why, but whatever. Next up, we run 3 Heritage. Now, the spells and traps have some pretty cool gimmicks of their own. So, the spell card, if you guys don't know what it does, during your main phase, you can draw cards equal to the number of True Draco or True King cards that, or a monster spell or trap that was sent from the field this turn. You can't, like, pop 2 monsters and draw 2 cards, or pop 2 spells and vice versa. You know what I mean? Like, if you pop a monster, spell, and trap, you draw 3. And this card is just good just for drawing 1, because sometimes I have 2 Heritage in hand and 1 of anyone, so I activate the Heritage, not using its effect, tribute it, use its effect to tribute, and summon it, and then draw 1 card. This is one of the best searcher cards. And then all of the spell cards have their additional effect, where they can give you an additional tribute summon. Like for instance, this is the best way I can describe it, because I didn't believe it at first. So you activate Heritage, you tribute Heritage for your first like tribute summon, like a normal summon. Go on the Majesty Maiden. Activate your second Heritage. Use its effect. Tribute. Get another True Draco monster. It's nuts. And then the spells and traps also have great effects. So if this card ever leaves the spell and trap card zone by any means, tributing, destruction, whatever, okay, you can target 1 spell / trap on your opponent's field, target and destroy. This is like I know like Sky Striker is my worst matchup, but like this card has saved me so many times in the Striker matchup. And this is legitimately my favorite spell card. I have one way, like, no, I said Diagram is like the best spell because it's like people forget that effect, but like for consistency, this is one of the best. Disciples of the True Draco Phoenix. Disciples is stupid, okay? You can never deck out with this card. So basically, its effect is you can target 3 True Draco or True King cards in your graveyard. Doesn't have to be monsters, no specifics. Shuffle them to the deck, and then draw 1 card. And then it's a simple tribute and destruction effect as it's the same as tribute and destruction effect as Heritage. But this is great for the grind game. People say run 2 of this. I don't like 2 because if you lose. I like 3. It adds a lot extra level of consistency. It's an extra spell. It's an extra continuous spell. But I might adjust the ratios a little bit. I've done testing online, but I like 3 because that's my personal preference. Do whatever you like. But this is by far one of my favorite spells. It saved my life so many times. And Konami, I don't know why you printed this card. I don't know why this card is at 3. But arguably the best draw card. I know I said like Disciples and Phoenix was like. I was hyping those up, but this is the best draw card. Yep. 3 card demise. And before you guys say, this is the poor man's YGO, not fucking rich man's YGO. Why is there card of demise in here? Because when I bought these were like $3 each on TCG Player, so, come at me. But yeah, if you guys don't know what not Pot of Desires, Card of Demise does is draw until you have 3 cards in hand. You're probably thinking, okay. It's the worst, you know, use up your hand, get rid of all the stuff until this is the last card left, and then just draw 3. That's stupid. Draw 3. It's the better Pot of Greed. It's at 3. And then, you know, it has other stipulation, like you can't deal any battle damage this turn to your opponent, and then during the end phase, you must discard your entire hand, whatever you have left, but most of the time, you're just going to use it all, so, whatever. And the next best one, this was a last-minute ad because I had this at 3, then I brought it down to 2, but then I'm bringing it back to 3 because I like more draw cards. Pot of Duality. Word of advice to all opponents: if you don't ash any one of this 6, you lose. Just saying, or you know, you're an idiot. Pot of Duality. Excavate the top 3 cards of your deck to your and add 1 of them to your hand. Then shuffle the rest back into your deck. You cannot, you know, special summon for the rest of the turn. We don't ever special summon. There's very few times I special summon. Ever. I almost never special summon. But regardless. Now off to the trap cards. This is the second, no, but probably the most trap cards I've ever played in a deck before, because I was mainly, you know, for the longest time playing spell cards or whatever. The closest was Ultrageist, and they're dead. So we run the standard True Draco trap card package. We run 3 Apocalypse, and Apocalypse is the best trap, one of the best trap cards I've ever read in my life. I have no idea why. So you guys don't know what its effect is. It's the same, you know, it's close. It's like the same destruction effect, except for instead of, you know, it's the same. Sorry, it's the same destruction effect as Heritage and stuff like and Draco Phoenix. Instead of targeting a spell/slot trap, you can target a monster your opponent controls, destroy it. This is too good. Konami, if Konami ever bans or limits this or semi-limits this, I don't think the deck will survive. I mean, it'll. I don't know. Like this deck, this is the best trap, one of the best trap cards I've ever read in my entire life. And this card has 3 effects. 3. I think all of them actually have 3, but whatever. So its second effect is you can target one other True King or True Draco card you control, have all the attack and defense of all your opponent's monsters. That's a permanent, okay? So as long as they're on the field, it's not until the end of the turn. It's not like till the end of the battle phase. It's as long as they are on the field, their attack and defense is halved. You have no idea how much this come up against the Pendulum matchup. Oh my god. And it's great. And then for our final, I don't know why this is at 1. I mean, it's stupid, but I mean, I get it. I agree and I disagree at the same time. 1 return. This is our only special summon engine, you know, thing. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, by the way, its third effect during your. This has come up because you know I almost lost. I almost got I'm at a game loss because of this because I didn't read my cards right because I'm an idiot. But during your opponent's main phase, you can immediately after this effect resolves. By the way, it does have stipulation that you can't use you can't chain multiple of its effects in the same chain, which is, you know, okay, whatever. But its secondary effect is you contribute this card during your opponent's main phase and special summon a True Draco basically from your hand. And it still gets its popping effect, which is stupid. You can only activate the effects of this once per turn. Now, I'm not even going to bring that up. Number 1, the 1 True King's Return. This is Called by the Grave, the card, and it's the same monster destruction as Apocalypse and Tribute effect, but it's basically just Called by the Grave. I'm not going to explain it more than that. It's Called by the Grave. Now, running off to the 3 best trap cards, like besides, you know, non-True King cards, I have in the deck. So we run the 2 Monarch Stormforth Erupt and the 1 Skill Drain. We don't run 3 of this because we don't want it to clog in our hand. We run the 1 Skill Drain because it's Skill Drain. So basically, Monarch Stormforth Erupt is basically Skill Drain, but only for your opponent's monsters. It does have stipulation, like you cannot have an extra deck. That's why we don't run an extra deck with this. But we don't need it. Extra deck? What's that? But activate this card only if you have no cards in your extra deck and you control a tribute summoned monster. All of these are going to be tribute summoned. Basically, face-up monsters your opponent controls their effects are negated. And if you know your tribute card leaves the field by any means necessary during the end of the turn, destroys itself. So we run 2. It's great, but it has come up times where it does kill itself. And we run the 1 Skill Drain because it doesn't kill itself. But it also does have the stipulation of it also negates our monster effects. But whatever. I would cut this to 2, but I don't know right now because of the current meta. So this is up for, you know, variation on meta to meta. But 3, there can only be 1. Now, you guys can side this out for literally anything. I got these on, like, the best deal of my life. By the way, this does not usually come up. I have actually never used this in a duel. For as long as I've had this deck, I have never used this, and it has never come up. You wanna know why? Even online. Because I never draw it, and if I do, I have way better. I have like a Monarch Stormforth Erupt, an Apocalypse, or whatever. So I just tribute. It's just tribute fodder for me. But it does come up, I think, against like the Thunder Dragon or the Dragon Lynx or whatever. Like, it's a good card, but I mean, it's expensive as hell. So you guys can side this out, and you can substitute this for literally any like floodgate out there, like pot of no, like anti-spell fragrance or anything. But that also hurts your deck. So, you know. I decided to run this at 2, because I did face a couple of decks that summon like once or twice a turn. Like I faced like 2 Ultra Geist players, a couple of them online and stuff like that, and also at my locals. So, I mean, you can run this at 3, you can run this at 2, you can run this at none. I mean, it's arguably one of the best cards in all formats. 2 copies of summon limit. If you guys don't know what this does, each player can only summon twice per turn. It's the vague effects that are the best. Because against any combo deck, it's a game win. Unless they have Twin Twister or any form of spell trap removal. Now, this isn't the best card, but it's the funniest. Whenever I flip this, people get so angry. The copies of Crackdown. I love this card. Basically, it's whatchamacallit. It's mind control but trap card form. And can't activate the control monster's effects, but it's so good. It target one monster your opponent controls, take control of it, but it can't attack or activate its effects. It's stupid. Ah, shit. Sorry about that. And for our last continuous trap card is the 1 Imperial Order. People think, well, this will just kill you during each standby phase. You can tribute this off. You can pop it. You can do so much. You can just tribute it off. You're like, okay, cool, fine, fuck it, sure. It's a good side deck option. This was in my side for a really long time, but I decided to put it in. We're gonna take it to the locals, see what happens. But I mean, the only difference between last weekend's list and this, when I came in first place and this one is, I didn't have these 2 cards. That's it. That's literally it. And I came up on top, so 1 Imperial Order. Also, we're running a small solemn package. 2 Judgment and 1 Strike. I would be running 3 Judgment, but 3 just doesn't sound right to me. So I run the 1 Solemn Strike. You guys don't have to run the Solemn package if you don't want to. If you guys want to keep it like a pure continuous spell / trap, whatever, go on and do so. There's the fun part about this deck is you can play to many play styles. True Draco could be going, my version, the non-extra deck version, or the extra deck version. The extra deck version has its pros and it has its cons. Like this one. This one has pros, this one has cons. You lose a striker. It's the most cheap, it's like the best cheap meta deck. When I mean by cheap, I mean it's like 150, it's like $100. But this deck only cost me 50. That's insane. $50. That's it. That is it. But yeah. You can also run Blind Going Second True Draco. That's a deck. I haven't tested it, but I know it's out there. And now, because I finally learned how to side deck. Okay. So, this is the side deck we brung to locals. It came up in last weekend, like, super clutch. Like, it was amazing. But this is obviously not a cheap side deck, so you guys can literally run whatever you want. I'll tell you guys what substitutes to run. So we run 2 copies of Nibiru, the Primal Being. This came up only twice in my entire locals, both times. One time I was facing Burning Abyss, and the other time I was facing a weird, like, Salamangrate deck. It's a great card. I'm not denying that, but I'm not going to say it's, like, the bee's knees. I'm not going to say it's, like, the best thing. If you guys want to... Also, we run the 1 copy of Lava Golem, because against Pendulum matchups, fuck them. But if you guys can't afford any of these cards, it's like $6, $3. Sign them up for any one of the kaijus. Like, it's practically the same thing, and they're cheaper. Speaking of kaijus, we won the 1 Gamma CL, because we gotta run it. It's the best kaiju, arguably. Now, This card has saved my ass so many times. It's not even funny. Artifact Lancia. This is the best artifact this time around. It is so stupid. Okay? Because against any deck that banishes Grand Maju, which is banished that deck, fucking Invoked Mech Knight, whatever, Thunder Dragon, I completely forgot about Thunder Dragon. You activate this on their turn, they're done. They just, I literally, like, I played this against Invoked Mech Knight last weekend. Every single time. Artifact Lancia. He literally just couldn't play the game, and he's like, alright, I fold. And it's the best one. That's for the monsters for the deck, for the side deck. We don't run Panker Tops because I mean, I know it's good in the Striker matchup, but I mean we have a bunch of side deck cards. Arguably the best side deck spell card ever. 3 copies of 3 Twin Twister. I played a weird Paleo Trap deck, like Frog Trap, Trap Trick, whatever. I'll tell you guys later. I'll tell you guys like after. But run 3 Twin Twisters. I'm not gonna explain it. You guys should know it's the cheapest fucking side deck card you have. 2 Anti-Spell Fragrance. It's pretty cheap. Destroys all Pendulum matchups and Sky Striker and stuff like that. It hurts our deck a little bit, but I mean it's not like too detrimental because we contribute our face down cards. And the card that made me win finals last weekend, 2 copies of Red Reboot. This is super cheap right now because if you guys say, "Well, Red Reboot's always been expensive," no, not anymore. That new structure deck, Rocket Revolt. This is a common. I got these ones because a guy just gave them to me. But yeah, Red Reboot. If you don't know, like against the Trap Trick deck or any trap deck, even True Draco. Pay out, like, during, your turn, this is still in your hand. Negate all trap effects for the rest of the turn, basically. For your opponent, but you have to pay half for your hand. But if you're going first and you have this, set it down, it's a free cost. And it's the same exact thing. So I'll tell you what happened against the Paleo player. So I had 1 of this and 1 of this. And I think I had, like, a Heritage and Enignis, and for the final card, because I remember it exactly, because it was the best hand of my goddamn life, this was my hand. I was thinking, ew, okay, and I was facing against exactly 3 back row. So what I did was, I played Twin Twister, discarding the Monarch's Erupt. No, I was discarding Heritage. Sorry, I was going second. What did I draw? Just any card. Let's call it blank, and I discarded the blank card. So he chained a negating of a thing, and I went Red Reboot, and this is like chain block because it's a counter trap. And he was like, "Oh, okay, cool," and then proceeded with True Draco combos, set, battle, and he's like, "Okay, I concede." So this is arguably probably the best deck I have ever played in my life. Okay, I don't know why I was so afraid to buy it. It was cheap. It was not cheap. Like before, like the Fist of the Gadget set came out, it was like, I don't know, like I'm gonna guess around, like I would have got it around like $80 or whatever. Now it's like 50, 60 max. Like it's insane. I mean, the most expensive card I think we have in the main deck is either Desires or Crackdown, Summon Limit, and Judgment. And also, there can only be 1, but, I mean, you don't have to run this. So yeah, that has been the deck for True Draco. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and peace. And we're going to take this to our locals and see how we do. And if we don't come in top 3, third time's the charm, right? I mean, well, I've been coming in top 3 for the past 2 weeks, so yeah. But my buddy, the hero player that came, our last video, our most popular video, got all the cards. We're gonna see how he does. So yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, and